Look, we just sitting here looking all cute. Hello?
I want to know who was singing that.
Huh?
Who was singing that?
Oh, who was singing that? That was Sister Val Marie.
Yes.
All right. Yes, y'all. How y'all doing?
I thought that was you, Peter.
No, that wasn't me. That was Sister Val Marie, but y'all thought it was me. But yeah. Girl, you're muted.
Ooh, you hit the mute button. All excited.
And then she muted herself again.
Oh, me? I'm muted? I'm not muted.
New season, everybody. Here we go. Take it away, because this thing is doing its own thing to me.
It's doing its own thing. You know what? We welcoming everybody back. It's a brand new season, and we had to get it started with the Tribe family, because it long time. It's been time. And we know we couldn't have left you, but here we are back. Glad to see everybody's faces. Tilted, if you are all right, we got to give the shout out to our sister Val Marie for you sit in the corner and y'all just listen. Some of y'all sit in the corner and get inspired. Some of you listen, get inspired, and do something. Come on, for our sister Val Marie, who came through with the what's really going on. And we got theme music, new season. Natural D, I'm gonna throw it over to you. How are you doing?
Oh, listen, I'm doing well because a lot of things have changed in my life since the last time we've been live. So I'm excited. I'm here. I'm happy. I'm whole. I'm well. I'm glad to be here.
That's a thing. That smile and them curls, as Audrey already mentioned. Them curls telling the story as well. They say freedom.
No, they hiding the real story. Shout out to Bree, Society Beauty, New Jersey. I'm gonna be there next week.
They're giving a pre-testimony. All right now. All right. Audrey, I'm gonna kick to you. How have you been?
I have been doing fabulous. My summer has been great. Trying to keep my edges laid. Doing this 90-degree weather, but missed y'all, missed the tribe, and I'm so happy to be back.
Awesome. All right, AP, you ready? We're over to you. You ready?
I'm good. I'm also trying to keep my edges laid, make sure I'm good. You know what I mean? Out here in these streets, got to keep my edges laced out. We'll see with my bonnet on and all that stuff. Make sure I'm good. So, yeah, but I'm doing good, y'all. I'm glad to see y'all. Of course, it's always a good time being with my sisters and stuff like that. So, what's going on, family?
Absolutely. Now, Tilted, I'm gonna throw it back over to you, and then we'll see how things go from there. But how you doing?
Child, I'm over here hustling and surviving. Living life like it's golden. Living the dream. Also, praising God that I have all of my edges. At the ripe old queenager age that I am today. So to those of you who are tuning in with us on tonight, thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate you. And I think I'm speaking for the whole tribe. We missed you. I missed you. So here we are again. And it's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope tribe to listen to. So let me go ahead and get into it and give you the rundown for what's going to happen on tonight's show. Of course, you've been reacquainted with the members of the tribe on tonight. Of course, we are going to get into a little bit of DAP sports. We're going to share some views from the Petty Pew that might actually meld into what's really going on. And of course, we are going to receive yet another hefty, hearty, empowering meal from our very own in-house master life coach, Queen Karen Sims herself. So before we get into it, I want to go ahead and do what I do. Can y'all give me my little fake drum roll, please? It's time for the super fan shout out. All right. We said we're gonna do better, but that seems to work, because it's unique, like the tribe. So yeah, check it out. I want to go ahead and give a huge super fan shout out to Sister Nick Boyd. Yeah, sis, I see you everywhere, all up in the chat room. You be all up on my news feed. You all on my timeline. You are so prayerful, so beautiful, so supportive, so encouraging. And baby, I actually came to your page the other day and listened to you drop a hot word in the morning. And I tell you, it actually blessed the socks almost off of my feet. So shout out to you, Nick. Nick's also a member of the Greater Shiloh Church, where many of us have experienced a spiritual nexus a time or two. So again, I want to go ahead and say thank you, sis, for your prayers. Thank you for every single time you hit like, for everything, every time you hit share, from some of the power thoughts I even share in the morning. I appreciate you. We appreciate you here at Tilted Halo Broadcast Media Entertainment LLC. Now I had to put that out there, y'all, because y'all do realize that THB and me is officially 1 year old. Y'all gonna clap it up.
Hey,
Gonna clap it up. I've been so busy on sabbatical, taking advantage of my digital detox, that I was like, wait a minute, my business birthday was yesterday and my baby is 1 year old. So I want to go ahead and take the time to thank each of you here on the panel publicly for dealing with my crazy, for just riding with me, whatever is laid out on the format sheet for the show. Let me tell you something. Time is one thing that you can never get back. And I appreciate each and every one of you sacrificing 90 minutes of your time once a month, every other month, whenever you join us here on the panel. Thank you. There is no Tilted Halo without Karen. There is no Tilted Halo without Natural D. There is no Tilted Halo without Audrey Dindy Hightower. And of course, you know, I can't keep all this swag without that boy AP. So I just want to say thank you so very much. I keep myself surrounded by some prayer warriors, y'all. But at the end of the day, what we're striving to do here on the platform is be a real life representation of what it is living life with God as your guide. So I want to go ahead and get up off of that. And move the show right on along. Now, you know, I like to try and come up with a little corny joke to break the ice, right? So y'all got it for me for a break the ice joke tonight or not?
Go ahead.
I'm waiting on you, sis. You know you always got a good gym.
Go ahead.
Are you serious? Y'all gonna do me like that tonight?
Go ahead. Go ahead. We here.
All right. The one I had just kind of escaped me, but thank you. Here we go. Ready? What does Jeff Bezos do before he goes to sleep?
Count some money he gave to his wife.
Anybody?
We done.
Y'all done?
We done.
He puts on his pajamas on. He puts his pajamas on. Pajamas on? Amazon?
We gonna start a petition to cancel the joke of the day.
Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
I got another one for you.
Redeem yourself.
Yeah, go ahead, redeem yourself on that one.
What is ET short for? What is ET short for?
Is the extraterrestrial?
That's
Answer.
That's too obvious. I don't know.
Entertainment tonight. I don't know with you.
Right.
What is ET? You don't want to guess, D?
Child, go ahead. Because nothing mind that won't make sense. So go ahead.
What's ET short for? He's short because he's only got tiny legs, y'all. That's why ET short.
Oh my God.
I knew something stupid.
You know, I gotta break the ice. You know, especially with everything going on in the world on today. You know, laughter is truly a balm for the soul, no matter how corny it gets. So before we move into our next segment, I want to go ahead again and say thank you to each and every one of you who are tuned in. Don't worry, it's not going to be a whole 90 minutes of me telling terrible jokes, y'all. So come on, stick around. It's about to get hilarious in about 20 minutes. So, and I also want to take the time to go ahead and acknowledge all of our replay viewers. We're expanding where we're actually broadcasting on tonight. Of course, you're familiar with all of our YouTube platforms where we're broadcasting. You're familiar with all of our Facebook platforms, but we done took a little trip on over to the TikTok universe. And we're spreading our butterfly wings over there as we begin season 3. So thank you again. Go ahead, like, follow, share, and as Natural D likes to say, go ahead and mash that notification button so you guys can know when we are going live. You never know where we're going to go. And as Karen put it, have your passports ready. So without further delay, I want to go ahead and toss the mic to that boy AP and Natural D for that wonderful segment, DAP Sports. Take it away, y'all.
What up, family? It's AP here. I'm here with my sis Donnell, and this is DAP Sports. And of course, we come to talk about all the modern things that are happening in sports today. A couple of topics that we're excited about. But before I go, D, how you doing today?
Listen, AP, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Now, I'm happy right now because football season is upon us, and I'm excited. That's the first thing I'm gonna talk about is football season. As y'all can't see my background, but there it is. Yeah, I got my college football stuff right there. So I'm excited for this upcoming NFL season. Football camp has started. The Giants are my team. I say it all the time before basketball season started. Claim your team now because I don't want people jumping on bandwagons. I know somebody that's sitting there is a rival of mine. I can't really say, what the team is, but they're a rival of mine. So with that being said, I'm claiming my Giants this year. I feel like we're going to go all the way this year, but I need each one of y'all to state y'all team. If you don't have a team, you can come to the Giants, but you can't leave. So I need each one of y'all to state y'all. I know, unfortunately, I know.
Fresh.
I'm going to go to Karen last. Go ahead, Audrey. You got to pick one. Don't say you ain't got one.
No. I mean, Giants is New York, right? Yeah.
You said right, and you don't even know. All right.
I'm going Giants.
All right. I don't know if that's good luck or not, but all right, good.
Who?
Oh, it's you. It's on you. I'm so sorry. I thought I said your name.
It's on me?
It's on you.
And y'all know I could care less about these foosballs, right?
Not foosball.
The foosball. But, last year you challenged me, and I never backed down from a challenge, AP. So I rolled with the Giants last year. I brushed the dust up off of my Victor Cruz jersey, and to represent my hometown as well as the regional team. So yeah, I guess I could ride with the Giants again, and I'm gonna ride out.
I appreciate that. We had a good playoff run last year. So now we got one less. We got one more person to state their team. And Miss Karen, go ahead. Say what you guys.
Thank you. I am riding with my Philadelphia Eagles all the way down here in North Carolina. Don't care nothing about these Panthers. They still on the prayer list and everything. But we ride for the Eagles. And everywhere I see a fellow Eagles person, just saw one. What day is this? On Sunday, saw somebody, and I was like, okay. And their person was like, they always start in trouble. We here for it. A whole nother season of trouble. Here we come. That's all. Thank you, Esky.
Just like an Eagle fan, you just can't say I'm with the Eagles. You gotta give a whole explanation or rah-rah thing. Lord have mercy. Donnell said, I'm with the Steelers. You get a whole thing about the Eagles. This is why the Eagles should lose this year.
Listen, because y'all, I'm not going to throw Stairway to 7 on y'all. We rebuilding. We just waiting for Kenny to come out for real, for real.
I'm glad you put a disclaimer out there why the Steelers are going to suck this year. So I appreciate
no, they not.
But camp started all over the NFL. I'm excited about it. I usually go to the Giants camp with my children, but this year they getting grown, so they don't want to go nowhere with daddy. So we watching sports online, and tomorrow Friday the Giants first preseason game. So that's it. But I know we got another topic for DAP Sports. D, take it away.
Listen, this one's for the Black Girl Magic. So over the last couple of weeks, we have found out that Simone Biles and Gabby Douglas are coming out of retirement and will be at the trials next year to come through Black Girl Magic, and Suni Lee will be back in the building again. All I know is I need Dominique Dawes to come on and dust off the commentary and, really be there for the Black Girl Magic. So I'm looking forward to Olympics next year already. I'm like ready. Like, let's just get to it.
Let me tell you something. My first time watching gymnastics was it might have been that 92 season when I was probably young, and Dominique Dawes was a part of. I was so in love with Dominique Dawes. Oh my gosh! And then she was in the Prince video too. Listen. You couldn't tell me.
Love me some Dominique Dawes. Shout out to Betty Aquino. Y'all, people want to put some respect to her name too. Yeah, our 90s black girls in the building. So she named after her. The Aquino. Come on now.
The goats are back. And one last thing. I was on Instagram today, and I came across this one page, right? And it was of these two young girls. One had to be 10 and the other one had to be 6 years old. And they call her Kid Dynamite. It's two little black girls, and they are wrecking shop in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They are like their dad has been training them, and these two little girls are fireballs. When I say they choking out people, they breaking arms, they doing everything. They go to every single tournament. It's two little black girls. They go to every single tournament and they wreck house. And so I'm gonna put her, I'll put in the comments what their Instagram is. But check these two little girls out. They are dynamite, and they win every single tournament they go into. They get first place, every single one. And so I think one is 9 years old and one is like 7 years old. But they wreak havoc everywhere they go. So yeah, I'll put it in the comments, y'all.
Listen, they could have been back up for Aquaman. So
No, we're gonna get to that. I'm excited.
I'm just trying to help y'all.
Jermichael Phelps. So But that is DAP Sports. Yes, we getting the quiet directors.
Yes.
That is DAP Sports, y'all. We're excited for what's coming up for football season. Shout out to all the goats of gymnastics, and also shout out to the two young queens that are coming up in jiu-jitsu. We're getting excited about it, but I know there's more to talk about. So go ahead, take it over. DAP Sports, we out.
Thank y'all so much. And I got to give an honorable mention tonight in DAP Sports. Can we shout out Sha'Carri Richardson?
Absolutely. For tanning, she's tanning us back.
We not here to play. Come on.
She took the wig off from She was like, "Look, I'm gonna need y'all to know I don't need none of this stuff to dust y'all." And that's exactly what she did. She dusted everybody. So thank you all. Thank you, AP. Thank you, D, for DAP Sports. We're gonna move this train right along. And I kind of skipped over it in the intro for the show today, but I want to circle back to wait a minute. I need to get my remote control. Y'all got your remote controls?
We ready.
All right, it's time to point your remote control at the TV screen. Merrily, find something to stream. That's right. We're getting ready to take a journey merrily down the stream And baby, I'm keeping my eye on this clock because we ain't got but so much time on tonight. By a show of hands, who saw that movie? They cloned Tyrone. Y'all didn't watch it? They cloned Tyrone.
Half of it.
It's on my list.
I'm not a Virgo, so some of these things go over my head.
Okay, so it's on AP's list. Karen has watched half of it. Donnell ain't say nothing, so I knew what that meant. And same thing goes for Audrey. Audrey just looking like, huh?
It's on my list.
TV.
It's on my list.
It's on the list.
All right, so and I won't break the movie down. All I'm saying is this:
Girl, too
there's a
late
lot
for
of
me.
metaphors. I know the internet done told a whole lot of it, but it's nothing like experiencing that particular cinematic masterpiece for yourself. I mean, I was once threatened to have my black card revoked because I hadn't seen Claudine. So I did my due diligence so I could stay in the Afro Nation and watch the movie. And it is now one of my all-time favorites. Now, I'm going to challenge y'all to go in and get the messages that are being told. And for those of you who are in the audience, you might be on that conspiracy theory bandwagon. No, they did not clone Jamie Foxx.
Child
No,
cheese.
not Jamie Foxx. That's Jamie. He just went through something. And if I was to quote the man himself, the man had been telling us he went to hell and back in his recovery process. So I'm glad to just see Jamie doing much better, and even more excited to see him back on screen with, again, something extremely powerful, something extremely unique. So now I got to ask y'all what you have been watching. D, what have you been watching, sweetheart?
Y'all know I got sucked back into Bachelor Nation. So if you don't know, the current Bachelorette is black, and she's blackity black, which is why I got sucked in. But also there was a contestant from the Lehigh Valley. So that is another reason why I got sucked in. So I missed last night's episode. So when we're done, my remote control will be pointing at that screen to see who's left. And I want y'all to know that Nigeria is in the building after the hometowns. Amen. We may actually get black love for real on this show.
Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria.
Are the last two contestants, are they black or?
So I don't know who the last two are. I'm still on 3, so I gotta watch yesterday. So two are brothers and one is white.
Okay.
From what I know, so I'm waiting to see what happens to the final 2. But however, our Nigerian brethren is in the lead. Like she can't hide that he in the lead. Like
Okay.
Nigeria. Okay, I see that. So Audrey, what have you been watching, dear? I know you're just busy and everything. Have you had time to watch anything?
So I have. I've been watching Billions. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Is it on Showtime? I think it's on Showtime. And it's about this guy, Bobby Axelrod, who owns this investment company on Wall Street, and he's shady, and the attorney general is shady, trying to get him, and it's all about their story. It's really good. But there's this one young black woman who's in Billions, and I looked her up, and it actually is Felicia Rashad's daughter. So that was interesting. But yep. That was really interesting because when I was like, who is she? And then they had another young black woman who, like you said, Donnell, extra dose of chocolate, just beautiful, beautiful, brown. And she's from Brooklyn. I was like, yes! But the show is really, really good. My sister got me hooked, and I'm almost at the last season. So they're getting ready they're going to close the series down. They're not going to have it after the next season that comes up. But it's really good. Close to my heart because I lived all that stuff that they're talking about, so it's good.
All right, Billions. I got that written down. I might have to add that to my list. The list is getting longer. AP, what have you been watching, brother?
So I've been spending some time with my youngest daughter, Sydney, and she's into everything Korean right now. Everything K-pop, everything, she watches a bunch of Korean movies. Everything is Korean. So we've been binging this show called Bloodhounds, and it's about a guy who is a boxer. And in Korea, where he is, the big heist is the big thing that the underground people do is they give loans to poor people, and then they charge them crazy interest because they know they can't pay it. And then what they come and do, they come and beat up the owners, take over the businesses, all this other stuff. So it was just a really good watch. I couldn't stop watching. I think one night each episode was like an hour long, and we literally stayed up to like 2:00 in the morning watching this whole series, and it was really good. Everything's in Korean, so you got to read subtitles. And my daughter refused to let me put it on the English translation because the English translation they speak weird, and so it's like, why did you do that to me? It's like really bad. She's like, just that, please read the subtitles, and I'm like, I hate this. But it actually, I got into it. It was really good. It's called Bloodhounds on Netflix, and dope series. But she's been really trying to get me into this Korean K-pop thing, so all this Korean culture stuff. So she said for her 16th birthday, mind you, she's only like 12 now, she wants to go to Korea. She wants to go to South Korea. So we'll see how that goes and how that ages. But I've been watching a bunch of Korean stuff on Netflix, and it's been pretty good because I like action stuff, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah. I'm with you. I do enjoy the occasional Korean presentation there on the Netflix myself. I'm telling you, them storylines are beast.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of fun too. It really is a lot of fun to watch, and it's been some bonding time with me and the little one. So she's excited about it, so I'm excited about it. So,
all right. I got to toss the mic to the one and only Karen Sims. What have you been watching, sis?
So listen, I appreciate being last. Not that I'm about my Eagles the whole show, but I was sitting here like, I don't remember what I watched because week by week they seem to be going fast. But I do remember now Lincoln Lawyer season 2. So and they did it like half and half, so you got half the season. And I mean, I binged that because that show is fire. If you're not into Lincoln Lawyer, it is now he's a celebrity lawyer and just a good, like, kind of that monk-esque detective type thing. But he always finds himself getting in some type of trouble that he needs some assistance for. They got the biker boys over there doing all kinds of craziness. I just love the show. But they gave you half of the season. And then I believe the other half of the season, I just remembered, I need a reminder. I need Netflix to remind me, and they will, to tell me when the releases are. So the second portion of the season, and we gonna get on that. So Lincoln Lawyer, I was like, I don't know, started to sweat. Like, what have I been watching? I don't know. Lincoln Lawyer. There it is.
Isn't that one the one that has the model, the actress from America's Top Model?
Yes. What's her name? Yaya?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Right?
And she is killing it. Okay. When I first saw her and you realize, you like, what? Wait a minute. Like, you see these folks from way back when, and they doing a doggone thing, and it's like, wow, you step all the way into it. I mean, her acting is just so superb in this. You wouldn't even think like, oh, you a top model. Like, never know how to go
about
on NBC, right?
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard, and it was one season, and they stopped. I think it was
the Black Hamptons.
Yeah, she's been in a few things.
Yeah, it was so good.
I love
it in a show, not Chicago Fire. It's the one. It's like the medical show that's the spinoff of Chicago Fire, something like that.
Chicago Med.
Chicago Med. There you go. She plays a nurse on there too. So she's killing it. She's
really
killing
good.
it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tag Effort.
All right. Well, look, since I started off with the wrong movie because I thought y'all would have been on it. Listen, I got caught up with Jesus Revolution. All right. Because y'all know I'm a huge prophecy buff. And every now and again, I go back in the crates and watch some of the old things. But then when I saw Jesus Revolution, I had to push play and see what that was about. And I tell you, this was such a heartwarming representation and presentation of what our Christianity should really be looking like. This pastor, of course, did the work of loving on some hippie folk. And next thing you know, it was a revival all over the country where the hippie folks were running out in droves, basically being baptized in the big river in varying locations across the country. And it was beautiful to really see how the hearts of certain believers were exposed to think that certain people don't belong here. I'm so glad that I know my Redeemer lives, and what he did on Calvary's cross, he did for every last one of us, from the uttermost to the guttermost. Jesus Revolution. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. Because at the end of the day, it's a huge reminder of what our faith is really about. LOVE, love. So we're going to move the train right along, and we're getting ready to head into a break, right? And, you know, I had a segment idea that kind of coincides with what y'all about to enjoy and partake of in this here break. Y'all get your shoulders ready to shake. But I want to go ahead and give me some quick fire ones, all right? This segment is actually called Let the Record Show, because you know what? It's testimony time. It's testimony time. It's testimony time. That's right. It's testimony time. And it's interesting that I'm bringing this out right now because I had a conversation with a coworker, and I basically said to her, I need a miracle. And she said, oh, do those happen every day? They don't happen anymore. And I just looked at her. I said, well, you woke up this morning, right? She said, yeah. I said, that's a miracle. Because how can you explain the gift of life that has you standing here? It's nothing short of a miracle. So I want to ask each and every one of you before we go into the break, and we're going to end it at Karen Sims because she got to put on her DJ hat and introduce what we getting ready to whomp y'all with the shoulder shake. So D, it's testimony times. Let the record show what God has done for you in the time we've been apart from one another here on the platform.
Child, A number one, I got a new job and didn't ask for it.
Ow!
It's testimony time. It's
Let's talk about it.
time. It's
Listen,
testimony
because when
time.
corporate just plucks you out and you just minding your business in the corner and you whisper that silent prayer and bloop, in less than 1 month, I had a new job.
That it's testimony time, y'all. Let the record show. Let the record show. There's a blessing. There's a blessing in remaining faithful, remaining in the narrow way, y'all. Audrey, it's testimony time. It's testimony time.
So I'm going to say two things. One is just piggybacking on what Donnell said about getting a job. My son got a job. He got his CDL license over the summer and he landed a job. He's so excited. I'm so excited for him. So that's one thing. And the other thing is this little, plug that after I decided I wasn't, going to do any more theater or act or anything else, I got another, gig or another show that I'm going to be in. And God is just good because he's sustaining me through all of this, right? Through everything. Even now I'm just tired, but somehow, right, we're able to keep going and keep running and keep doing all the things that are on our plate. So yeah, he's good all the time.
It's testimony time. It's testimony time. Doom, doom. Y'all hear that beat? Hey, doom, doom, doom. Hey, AP. What is the record showing for you, brother?
Look, I have been excited because doors of opportunity have been opening for me, and the last door that is open for me has actually been an opportunity to write a part of a sitcom. And so I've been writing. And so I'm excited. I wrote my first script. It was about 35 pages worth of stuff. And so I'm excited about it because it's something I've always done secretly. But when I had the opportunity to be a part of this project, to write something that's going to be a 30-minute sitcom to a 25-minute sitcom, I got excited, so I got to putting words to paper, and I like it. I like it. So it's just I told my wife I want more passion projects, and this is another passion project, and it's actually flowing way easier than I thought it would be. So yeah, shout out to my homeboy who's in California right now. As they are striking, we still working though.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's been good outlet. Yeah,
Come through.
It's testimony time. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, hey, dun, dun, dun. Hey, hey, testimony time. Oh, I'm sorry, I was feeling that thing.
Not you remixing in the middle of that thing, man.
No, back Marie, I hope you out here, girl. We need this on tape. Anyway, listen, y'all know I hear things and just, I don't know. Karen, what is the record showing for you today, girl?
Let me tell you something. The record is showing that God is shining bright, and He is in the change and sustainability business still. You know, we sing that song, "The Blood Still Works." All the Lord is sustaining the family. We're all still growing. We don't got no new additions that I yet know about. Bless the Lord. So I know where my for a whole year now. Almost to the 19th. Then it'd be one whole year that I didn't know what it is. And then we've been talking about this process of jumping the broom. And so 61 days, y'all, and I shall be married and having some name. I ain't really sure yet what the name goes. It's gonna still be Karen, but
Brother-in-law, don't get her after the broadcast for saying that, please.
Don't do
that. Lord.
This kid, okay? He at church, so we got good odds that he may or may not catch the replay. But 61 days, and that's definitely a transition for me as I sit here and be like, oh Lord, like I'm gonna be somebody's whole wife. Bless him. That's the time frame.
Tell me when you need a Virgo interpreter.
Listen, okay, just the entire prayer. That's all I can say. But God is in, and all of the things are coming together, and family and friends, and you know. Do y'all know about this wedding chicken? This wedding chicken is expensive. I just wonder. I'm saying it. I'm letting the record show everywhere I go. I wish, my entire wish is that I could feed everybody wedding chicken. I wish, but since I charge my pocket, not my heart. Okay, so I might be waiting for the invite that ain't here. I love everybody. That's let the record show. I love everybody, but the way this wedding chicken set up. It's a oh wait, but we ain't here for that. But
how many people at the wedding? How many people?
So we trying to keep it like 65, 70. I promise you, I was okay with just the groom. It could just be me and you at the water, and we'll be all right. You know, I said that line will work for anybody else. It ain't work for him. It's like, no, you will not miss this. Like, this will happen. So we got about 65, 70 people that's gonna be there. And
you talking about your wedding, and I just remember something. We are in the season of testimony. We just celebrated 18 years of marriage. Me and my boo. So shout out to Toya. You just reminded me because I was about to say, how many people at your wedding? We had 200 people at our wedding. At $80 a plate. So you do the math. That's a lot of chicken.
No.
No. That's a lot of chicken.
So I said yes to the wedding, but I didn't say yes to going bankrupt on the, we a little bit more mature right now, AP. So it's like I don't want to. We not going into debt over this wedding. It is we paying for the chicken price today, not 5 years from now, whatever this chicken gonna cost. But y'all who thinking about getting married, either don't supply chicken. Just go ahead and go vegan. It might be less expensive for the plant-based. I'm not sure, but maybe if you try plant-based, you could at least start growing in the backyard and then, literally do a farm to table situation. Because this chicken, I'm afraid to know what it's going to cost 5 years. So, let me
I
know.
will say home styles service also helps.
Yeah, home style service. Yeah, we.
Yeah, because my
I'm
bag
in
is
the,
$19 a
resort,
thing.
so it'll be at the water. It'll be at the water because it'll be at the water because the Virgo want the Pisces to be nice. So we'll just go back to the water. Take me to the water.
You okay, Karen?
I'm good.
No, she's
I
not.
don't know nothing else. People ask me about colors and who doing what. I don't know nothing that. I just know I'm be at the water. That's meet me there. We gonna be doing
And you're gonna
backwards. He can walk down the aisle. I'm just gonna be at the water and let him walk. Oh, this is a
don't
lot
get
of
me
work.
started.
This is a lot of work.
Listen, she done got hot and started fanning herself. So, all right, Karen,
Yeah.
sweetheart, go on and let the conversation of the wedding go. I need you to take your fiance hat off right now
Yeah.
and put on
Yeah.
the DJ hat.
I'm wrecked.
You ready?
So
All right.
listen,
Okay, we done came up off of Karen, the future bride. We now have DJ Twisted Threads. Take it away.
listen. This is why we so excited because we always get to be seated among greatness. And today, listen, it's gonna be a familiar Nikeo music, and they be out here giving us stuff to bump to. And so today, what we listening to? What we listening to today? We listening to Praise Report, and we gonna get it right at there. There you go.
I love this.
All right now.
Hey,
Back
we
from
back.
the side. All right.
I love it. All right, Aaron.
Y'all got your shoulder shake onto that praise report.
That you should.
Y'all know, y'all know I love sharing my positive hip hop music occasionally, because you saw the conversation I had with the fella who tried to play me and bring me into his cloud of negativity, and it just let the record show Brian never spoke to me again. See what happens when y'all let me loose in these Virgo streets? I'm sorry. I'm not, but I can't apologize for being in charge of what it is I listen to. So AP, and bring me in. God been blessing you, boy. I heard you. You got with them bars. Thank you so much for doing what you do. We appreciate you here at the show. So y'all ready to get a little patty? Y'all ready?
Yes.
Y'all ready to get a little patty? Because like I said before, we about to mesh this in to what's really going on. So views from the petty pew because of what's really going on. How does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right. So first, we're going to start it off with the conversation about Miss Lizzo. Yes, I see the Deaconess D has her prayer cloth on. She's yet interceding for us, because you never know where my mouthpiece might go when I'm expressing myself. So yeah, we've seen it all over the headlines and all over the internet streets that Lizzo is experiencing some difficult times. Some of her former dancers and employees are accusing her of being a shady boss. That's right. She has been accused of body shaming, firing some of her dancers because they've actually gained weight, and basically being a big old meanie behind the scenes. And, I've not really been a wow, it's Lizzo fan. I recognize she's important to the culture, especially to the demographic that is still, getting turned up to that type and brand of music. But it just kind of it's disheartening to hear this type of story about Lizzo, because I did take the time to watch her dance competition show when she was auditioning the plus size dancers that would be going on tour with her. So to hear this, it boggles my mind. She is a very creative artist. She not only sings, she plays at least 3 instruments that I am aware of. She is Queen Shock and All Factor. We ain't gonna talk about the plus size Prince jeans she went out in the streets that one night. And anyway, yeah, this is Lizzo, y'all. Do any of you have any thoughts on that? Can I get a church finger so I know who to acknowledge first as you go ahead and share your thoughts? Okay, Audrey, talk to me.
I don't even know if I believe it, to be honest. I mean, in this day of social media and the internet where anybody can say anything, I don't believe it personally. I think these were just, disgruntled dancers for whatever reason. I don't know if you watched, I think one of them or 2 of them interviewed, and they were just upset that they weren't able to go on the nice trips, or they weren't, it just didn't sound too kosher to me. So I'm just not buying it. I'm sitting back with my popcorn, just waiting to see how this falls out.
True. I did hear a little piece of that. But go ahead. I see a church finger over there with you, D. Go ahead.
So to stay in line with that, the other issue is that most people have pointed out is it's like a year later. And the day and age of exposés and exposures, specifically around what they are, what the accusations are, you would think you would come up a little bit sooner than now, unless you really were threatened, then that's a different story. But, and not to say that, everyone's on this, You got to believe the victim. Well, can we get the story? Like,
Right.
I'm over believing one party over the other. I need the story. Just give me the facts. What's the truth? What's provable? What's not? I'm over the back and forth of everything. Just what is it? What's the truth? And it's not just Lizzo. It's also her dance instructor, her lead dancer, the choreographer, or her, shaming of, not having the same religious beliefs, which, Lord, the faith, Christianity, just the witness is getting weaker and weaker, y'all. But yeah, it's just I need to see. Let's just get to the jury. Let's just get to it. Like I don't know at this point.
Okay. AP, what you got to say, brother?
Can y'all hear me? For one, can y'all hear me? Y'all good?
Turn up a little bit.
So can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
Turn it up.
All right, there you go. All right,
There you go.
I hope it's not true. But also there's a lot of people that are kind of speaking out against her, and so sometimes they say, "Well, there's smoke, there's fire" as well. So, and a lot of people seem to have a similar story to the type of person that she is, and so I'm hoping it's not true because we all about Black excellence, and she does get a lot of flack online for weaponizing certain things sometimes. Usually being a victim. Most of the time she claim to be the victim of something, somebody's doing her wrong, and it's kind of funny that now it's coming out that she's been the one that's kind of been verbally abusing people. And so like Dee said, I just want the whole story so we can kind of make a see where we are with this whole situation. And just a quick sidebar to that as well, Dee. Speaking of knowing the whole situation, I saw some breaking news probably about an hour ago that just broke that Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. And so, speaking about wishing we knew the whole story, we don't know what's going on. But I see it just came out that he got sentenced today for 10 years in prison for the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. So,
wow.
Oh wow! Thank
Something
you for that
happened there.
breaking news.
We don't know the whole story, but something definitely happened there, right?
something happened. He
Yeah.
got
Something
sentenced today.
happened.
Yeah,
About an
something
hour
happened
ago.
between Meg and Tory in that vehicle on that night. Listen, Megan prevailed because what the story she told was the most consistent from what I've come to understand, and I'm trying to keep up with that story myself. But wow, bro got 10 years, huh?
10 years. Just came out about an hour ago.
Ooh, 10 years. And meanwhile, Megan Thee Stallion is out here promoting mental health amongst the artists. She's done some music and has shared some of her struggles. And relative to the Tory Lanez situation, I do recall in the last week or so, I did read where Megan said she didn't feel comfortable even being in the same room with him. She is still walking with some of that trauma, as it seems that the cream of her craft keeps rising to the top. So we hope that while Megan's laying these lyrics out in these bars, we hope that someone is having these conversations with her to help her purge her soul of some of that traumatic emotion she may still be carrying. As a trauma care specialist, mental health advocate myself, listen, it is very important to have somebody to talk to when you go through these things. I mean, I got y'all, and I got a whole bunch of other folks that I talk to in my regular life all the time that make sure y'all check the temperature. Y'all check my temperature. Like, you know me well enough. Like, say, for instance, Karen knows when I get real quiet, something's going on. And that's the kind of people you need in your life. So I just hope, the industry is just not making a mockery of what happened between Megan and Tory, that they go ahead and get that together and make sure sis is all right, because she's great. She was great before we knew her here out in the forefront. And I look forward to, his growth and healing as he sits back and reflects, is it really, appropriate for you to be even having a gun on you and pulling it out on your so-called woman? What's going on?
Right.
Is it ever really that serious that you got to shoot somebody in the pinky toe? This is not Harlem Nights, y'all. This is not Harlem Nights at all.
Nope. It's a pinky toe all the way.
Yes. So yeah, Karen, you got anything on the Lizzo conversation?
I do stand with everybody else. I do victim shame, but I also want to identify who actually is the victim in this story. So this, among so many other things, is tried in the streets of popular opinion versus the courts of law. And I think that it is important that this is handled in the courts. I get it, Lizzo, super all of the things that we said, and it's not to shirk anything from her, but in this cancel culture that we live in, I think it's important that we know whatever the facts are before we go for somebody's paycheck, because I know folks will start canceling. It'll be less opportunities, which should be the case if and when we find all of the facts that lead to that. So my opinion, and it's a weird situation because we know this could have been any celebrity across the US and internationally as well, but it just brings to mind some of those conversations that we had with our aunties and our grandmas about who all you spending time with and who you got in your circle, because those folks have to kind of the stuff away from you as well. So shout out to everybody involved. We not shamed, okay? Ain't been none of y'all, but we gonna wait here and fan until we get the details.
Right. That's what we fence to do. We gonna watch as well as pray and hope things work out. And the truth is actually revealed in the middle of all these stories that are just now coming to the forefront. So yeah, I got to move it right along. I got my fan in my hand because I got listen. Alabama is turned up all the way up and has been for at least a month now. So I titled the show Lizzo Lies and Videotape. Y'all already know what it is. First, we got to talk about what's her name, Carly, Little Miss Carly, that decided to show up taken one day. And had the whole nation keeping her covered in thoughts and prayers, and the search parties went out, and the everybody was concerned about Little Miss Carly, who, oh my goodness, amazingly enough, showed up barefoot on her mama's doorstep 2 days later. And we, Lord have mercy, we got to sit up and watch Alabama, the chief of police down there in her jurisdiction, hold a press conference to kind of basically put on blast what many of us kind of already sensed in the middle of our sha-na-na. In the middle of our sha-na-na. Yeah, I kind of knew something wasn't exactly quite right, because who gonna see a baby on the side of the highway? I had a puppy monkey baby moment just then and there. That's all I envisioned when she's talking about a baby on the side of the road. And hey, listen, we find out that her Googleations was just they just drew the picture out. We ain't heard nothing else from Miss Carly directly, except for that photograph where she had that lunatical smile on her face for her mugshot. And for me, I'm a little bothered by the levels that conversation, levels of conversation that came from Carly's acting out nationally. And one thing I heard, and I didn't engage it because it was like, look, yeah, she might have been suffering from momentary insanity, but I don't think that this was necessarily a long-term mental health issue, as so many people have been saying. as more information has come to light from her disappearance situation. So I want to go ahead and hash this out with y'all a little bit. Maybe y'all are a little bit more sensitive to others than I am. But my whole deal is I really believe that old girl needs to be held accountable for what she did, for wasting valuable time and resources when these folks could have been looking for somebody that was actually missing. So I'm gonna get up off of that and I'm gonna tap. Yep, I'm coming to you, AP. Go ahead.
I have a question for y'all. Do you guys? So you ladies. So it was two things that were going on. People said that this takes the attention off of Black women who are actually missing, right? Do you feel that's the case? We can answer quickly round robin. You think is that the? Do you think that was a black eye for that type of movement for Black women to be found?
Me personally, no. Go ahead.
No.
I think it does. I think it does for a short period of time. I think that this will blow over.
Karen? Oh, I think she's frozen.
Yeah. Karen's frozen. I'm frozen. I'm frozen.
I'm gonna say no to the fact that we got a problem with they're not even being looked for in the first place.
Period. Yeah.
So, are the resources even out there?
Right.
Right.
So I totally agree. It's just not that's a community that are often, not believed or often just put to the side. I.e. this whole Megan Thee Stallion thing too, because people upset. They upset right now that he anyway. Believe Black women when they talk. But anyway, the other thing too is, do you think she should be jailed for this false report? I want to know. My opinion is I don't think she should be jailed. I think she should be heavily fined for the man hours and the time put away. But what do you? I just want to, since you guys are the ladies, I want to know what you guys think about that.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I believe this young lady needs some long-term psychiatric care implemented alongside all of them fines she needs to carry, to make sure she knows how to properly deal with her feelings. She knows, there are limits to how far you should go when playing pranks and jokes and things like that. We're in this TikTok prank culture and people are doing strange things for credibility and for likes and for numbers. But I think she should somebody should be hollering at old girl for a long time, just to make sure she's equipped emotionally to deal with the aftermath of her own behaviors. The girl done lost a job. She done lost her man. She getting DMs that don't necessarily need to be printed or repeated. She needs to not only have them get them people their money back, but I also somebody needs to go in the deep recesses of her mind to make sure that she's okay. That, what is it, Audrey, that we were throwing around in off-air conversation? What is it, Munchausen syndrome?
Munchausen. I'm coming from a different perspective, though. I feel sorry for her, because I'm thinking anyone to premeditate, right? Like, she thought about this, right? Did research on what she was going to do to get the attention of a guy. So she must have felt desperate that there was no other way around her getting to the point where she needed to. When you think about all the Karens out there who be claiming things that are not true against our, Black and brown brothers and sisters, and nothing happens to them. And when you think about, like, Emmett, I'm going all the way back. When you think about that woman who claimed that something happened between her and Emmett Till's killer, the woman who died not that long ago, nothing happened to her. So I just don't. I think this is overkill, to be honest. That's just my opinion. I think she needs to be reprimanded, but in this social media, internet, she's being tried in the public opinion. She needs help.
So have you guys ever done anything crazy like that for love? Be honest. Have you ever done anything, not that to that magnitude, but have you ever done anything crazy?
I'm the queen. Yes, I'm the president. All of the things. I'm the president. One of the things that came up was, did she actually say she was that, she needed police protection? Like sometimes, and I say this in business all the time on my professional setting, a bright idea is usually brightest when it stays in your own head. As you share it, it dims in capacity because it sounds stupid when you telling somebody else. But at the time, it's like, listen, I'm going over here to help this baby because I am noble and I am kind. The one that called the police, though, y'all was over there tripping. So I got to point fingers a little bit now. Was she able to think these things through? Maybe. Because listen, if you've done one stupid thing for love, mercy, we probably have done several. Now we're probably on blast. Thankfully for us, the internets were not what they were when we was making our stupid decisions on the love. But I love it, and I remember saying them words to my father, like, "But I love that man." I don't even know where he is, but God bless him.
She was trying to create a viral moment, right? That wasn't her goal. She wasn't like, well, I'm going to go viral. That wasn't her goal. She did. I think AP, you hit on something, like she was doing something crazy for love and it just happened to get out there. And now it's a whole big, media sensation. And we're talking about
left her wig.
I was just getting ready to say, she left her wig and a cell phone for love. Usually you put on a new lace front for love. That's what I done seen and heard.
That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part.
It depends, because we'll pick up somebody real quick when we think we looking raggedy. All of a sudden, Tyrone find us when we like, this ain't today. Now you listen. I'll be right back. But today ain't the day for you to be rolling up on me.
But she was looking good for her mugshot, right?
You had snacks in the outfit just in case Tyrone pulled up. She had granola bars and cheeses in a row. She was ready for her new boo. I'm sorry, y'all.
For all our listeners, y'all know y'all came here to get a different perspective, because that's what you're going to get when you roll up on the tribe. You're going to get several different perspectives. So
we writers and authors. We writers and authors and creatives over here. And if we ever took the opportunity to transcribe some of the things that roll through our mind, baby, we would have bestsellers. We would have Academy Award winning projects. We would have Emmys, Tonys, we would have it all. All right. So we got to go. We got to go on to the next. Chairs. I'm sitting in my chair.
Oh, I gotta get my stack, Lord. I gotta get my stack.
My chair tonight. I'm experiencing an entirely different vibe. Take me to the water.
Hallelujah.
Take me to the water. Wait, here we go. Take me to the water to get in a fight. Listen here, y'all. We all
Love if you bug.
Listen, I don't know what was going on. Well, see, what had happened was I was trying to go to sleep, and then one of my favorite vloggers posted a video, and me with my half sleeping self, I took a gander and swiped as I was instructed to, and I saw the melee of the ancestors taking place on this here boardwalk. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. So what I did was I put my phone down and went to sleep. But when I woke up the next morning, listen. The black delegation was telling it all. And I saw memes amok. And baby, I'm listen, I'm surprised I could talk tonight. The way I cackled in this house from these here memes. So for those of y'all who've had your head up under a rock and don't know what we're talking about, it was a beat down in Bama. It was a beat down in Bama. And I have a very different perspective about this outside of these jokes. So who got next? Because I need to finish this off a little bit more righteously than I've begun.
Knock if you bust.
Listen.
Listen, all right, I'm gonna jump right in. This is one of those where was you when you found out moments. And I promise you, shout out to the fiance because he was the one, he was like, babe, you got to now I was on the phone, getting my girl time in, and I'm like, not right now. What is you doing? He's like, you have to see this. I didn't even know what I was looking at. It was like, what is this foolishness? Who all over there? Wait a minute. What happened? So I got to say, y'all remember we was growing up and we used to say, everybody your cousin.
Everybody.
It's a family reunion. That's all it's a family reunion. You can't be rolling up in the family reunion and thinking you gonna throw bows at the family reunion. This is the day. Y'all been saying we all look alike the whole time. Now you know why, because we all cousins. There it is.
But not only that, Unc still got hands, so you still gonna catch a beating. We gonna use shoes, belts, switches, and folding chairs, which were invented by a black man. Come on now.
Look, it's crazy how things unfold. I was actually almost a part. Not, I don't want to create myself. I was allegedly a part of something like that a long time ago. Allegedly. Me and my family were traveling to Virginia, to Richmond, Virginia, to go see my grandmother. It was like a family reunion. We were driving down 95, and we went to we stopped at the Maryland house, and so we're at the Maryland house, and so half of the family, because we were riding like 8 cars deep because we all came from Jersey. We were riding down together. So most of the ladies went into the Maryland house to grab food. The guys were getting gas because we didn't gas up yet. So we just getting gas. And this white family, like 3 guys, they started harassing this black lady, right? And so now, mind you, he didn't know we came with 8 cars full of people. And so I had to be like maybe 13, 14 years old. So they giving this lady a hard time. And all of a sudden, I see 2 of my uncles go over there. And as 2 of my uncles go over there, the rest of all my cousins, it had to be like 25 of us. And it was, and when I talk about surrounding a car, I had 2 cousins that played football that picked up the car, allegedly, picked up the car like from his bumper, picked it up in the air, picked it up. And we didn't know this lady from nothing. But the fact that we saw it happen, we all jumped in and was like, nah, that's not how this gonna roll. And so allegedly, how will allegedly roll? I wasn't even there. And so
he wasn't even there.
I was witnessing it's not even being there. As they say, what there? And so when I saw that, it reminded me of that, but also it sounds bad, but I was so proud. I'm like, yo, it's now some people may call it ignorant or ratchet, but I was proud because I'm like, listen, we as a community, we don't come together we don't stand up for each other enough, I feel.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about just fighting and stuff like that. I'm just talking about in general. We don't root for each other. We're always in such competition with each other. We don't get an opportunity to actually love on each other. And so I felt like that was just a cry for, not a cry, but like it was a moment where you like, no, this is not how it's gonna be done. And so as a black person, I felt proud. I really did. Now, I know a couple of chair shots couldn't have happened. Maybe, I mean, with ladies on the floor sitting there dazed already and caught a church chair to the head. But you know, the rest of the elbows and feet and hands, I was like, forgive me. But I was proud of y'all standing for yourself. But yeah, it was a crazy scene. I too was all over those memes. I was rolling, and black people ain't got no sense. So they said, I mean, just don't go on Twitter, because Twitter is you will not. I was on Twitter for 2 hours the other day. Didn't even realize it was 2 hours. Because they just have meme after meme after meme. Black Twitter is a real thing, and so they just have they called my man Jermichael Phelps. They called him Aquaman. They called him they said they slowed it down, put it in slow motion. He's the first black man to swim to a fight. Like it was just. He said black people came from land, boat, and sea to fight. It just was crazy. It was crazy.
No, but what about I didn't even know about this. I have been under a rock, right? And I didn't even know about it until my son told me about it this morning. And so I thought, Lord, I know we're gonna talk about it tonight. Let me find out what's going on. And I was watching the videos. The security guard throw his hat up. I was like, he know it was over. Like the minute he was like, "What? Okay, this is it. Job is gone because I'm going in right."
Full acknowledgement.
Yo, it wasn't even like a let me throw it down. He threw it up like let's get active. Like let's get at it. Like,
listen, and that's one of the best skits too. I saw on the clock app where he throws it was like the international signal for black men. You see him, you miss him. Hold on, no, we gotta go. Like
a flare. It's like he threw a flare of it.
Yeah. We just knew like that was the ancestral signal or something. And he was like, and I was like, wait a minute, is this real? That's why I didn't know what I was looking at.
It was gone. It was like I can't. It was like the hat was in the way. He can't fight with the hat on. He got the hat on.
It was like he said, look, I'm behind on child support right now. Like I'm out to I need to get active to get this off my chest right now. So he was like, "Oh, you want to fight? Yes." Like, let's go. I'm so happy right now.
Who was it? I think it was Jory in NBC, and she said it was like the Avengers and Black together to converge. Listen, we not our grandparents. That's all I got to say. We not our great grandparents. Y'all come forward.
I mean, but we are.
You're right. Some of them, I think the expectation is what's seen on the news, that it's a different thing. We literally know how to fight. A great fighter, like literally. Y'all, this was the wrong thing. It gave me a moment of like white men can't jump moment. Like y'all watch that movie and don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. So y'all know I got to put a different perspective on this, right? Because
yes,
there's power in the internet pen, and I could have put anything in my my timeline, but I questioned what in the world is going on down in Alabama, and checking into and listening to different tidbits of information as this situation has been coming forth. I'm of the understanding that the former sitting president had a rally down in them parts that day, and I questioned again, before I even knew that, what's going on in Alabama right now? We're about how many months out before we get into the throes fully of the next election season? Again, I just mentioned the former sitting president had a rally down in them parts, and I questioned it earlier in a dialogue I was having about it. Do you think that those folks were emboldened by Orangina being down there, reciting some of his rhetoric as he consistently tends to do. Even with the Carly situation, I don't think it's happenstance that both of these incidents that have made major television news happened in Alabama. I question, what spin are y'all trying to put on us this election season? Which African-American woman is in the forefront to winning a particular state or race that you all think you should have, that you would put Carly's business out there to kind of make the other folk think that African-American women don't have the capacity to tell the truth? Did anybody ever consider that part? That part. Then we see the melee. That was justifiable melee. Shout out to the folks that is raising funds for the people that could possibly be facing charges as a result of this here incident. Stephanie Mills, y'all, I see y'all. Go on and get that fundraiser together. Make it virtual so we can all attend and give y'all some money to help these folks out. But allow me to digress up off of that part. Listen. Race baiting at its finest. How many times are we going to allow the machine to divide us as a nation? This is obvious to me. Is it just me?
No. I mean,
thank you. That's why y'all my tribe. I keep y'all close because y'all got good God sent. Yes, Aaron. Yes, AP.
The dog.
There's always a bigger play. Get.
The dog whistle was blown like years ago, right? And it's not even a dog whistle anymore because the whistle for dogs is like only for dogs to hear, right? But now it's so loud, right? And it's like silent away. Now it's not even a dog whistle. It should be a different term for it, where it's just blatant in the forefront, the rhetoric, the comments, it's just, yeah. People are emboldened, and the wrong types of people are emboldened, right? So this is what we get. And we're going to see more of this.
Well, when you have a country artist like Jason Aldean releasing songs to this very effect.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the awesome thing is? People are now putting his song to that video. And so,
right.
Yeah. So I'm like, don't try it in a small town. You see them getting whooped on.
Right.
But I do agree with you, Nikita. It's always something bigger at play. And so either, obviously not, this isn't something that was planned, but it will be used for something. I already know it's gonna be a rally cry for something. You already know, because anything that we do as a culture is either used to push society forward or to use it as to weaponize it. You know what I mean? And so either the society loves to steal culture when it's good, not give us credit for it, but when it's good. But when it's something that they deem to be harmful to other people, they're going to use it as bait. And so we've been here before, though. We've seen these plays before. But the one thing I'm seeing about this subject is I'm actually seeing people of other races like, no, they deserve that whooping. You know what I mean? And so I haven't seen too many people that I follow, people that I know, matter of fact, just people that are coming down my timeline. I see people of different hues like, no, they deserve that whooping. You know what I mean? And so if y'all wouldn't have messed with that man who was just doing his job, it wouldn't have happened. And so it wasn't like a whole bunch of people ganged up on that one man. No. It was a reason why. It was a cause and effect. There's a reason why I got droopy eyes this morning. It's a reason. And so, but they're always going to use this as a rally cry for something else, especially when they use fear as a tactic when it comes to us. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm always looking for the angles. I'm in a place now in my life where I'm well past the smoke and the mirrors. So y'all throw them up, I already recognize the illusion. I want to see what's going on behind it, because there is absolutely so much going on. We got, I don't know what's happening in Florida right now. All I know is I've made the personal choice to investigate what a trip to Disneyland will cost as opposed to Disney World. since I am OG California, why not go back to Disneyland? I haven't been since maybe a year after I graduated high school. So let's go see what some of the new upgrades are and get my Universal on and my Knott's Berry Farm on while I'm in Cali. But no, for those of you who are in the listening audience, listen, pay attention. Voter suppression in the South has been ridiculous. And that was evidenced for real, in the last presidential election. I absolutely recognize this as a smoke and mirror tactics to divide the nation all the more. As Prophet Larry Reed says, we are the divided states of America. We have been for quite some time, though many of us do our best to walk as beacons of the light of God's love and what it should really look like. Some of the Christians have weaponized the faith and caused a greater division than ever before, as we're sharing this broadcast today. So, tribe, we already know what it is. We some praying folks. We know how to take our requests to God and make them known. So for those of you who don't mind joining in with us, y'all, can we just start interceding on behalf of a nation?
Yeah, too.
Can we get back to our positions on the wall? I mean, I know when I first came to the faith, I was first taught to study the word. And in studying the word, that had to be coupled with prayer to understand what the word was really saying, and to really make sure that check my heart with it and make sure that the prayers that I were praying and have been and am praying are not the request of my own personal issues or my heart's motives. So, let y'all stay encouraged down here. Be diligent, be mindful, be aware. Be prayerful, because the scripture is clear. If my people who will call by my name shall humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn. You got to leave that stuff alone, y'all. Turn from your wicked ways. Then would he hear from heaven. Then would he forgive sin. And then the land would be healed. And we got to take our rightful place, y'all. We used to be known as the softest demographic, always so forgiving, always so welcoming, always so loving. But baby, I think it's the warrior's cry has been unleashed. So this, again, as it was stated earlier in the conversation, we are not our grandfathers. We are not our grandmothers. We will fight you. I will. I'm not ashamed. He calls me Petra.
That's
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Wait a minute. Allegedly.
I war in prayer. I war in prayer. That's my favorite fight. I war in prayer. I war in prayer.
There you go.
And that's the most powerful fist you'll ever encounter. So thank you all for participating in the conversation on tonight. Lizzo lies and videotape. I am so glad that there was nothing on video to get me caught up from back in the day when I was practicing my levels of foolery. So Karen Sims of Twisted Threads is preparing to help us get our life all the way back together as she brings forth another impactful word with reflections of purpose. Karen, go ahead and take it away, sis. I need help.
Appreciate it. Listen, excited to be here to give a quick word for our reflections of purpose. And we've been in it the whole time, during the whole conversation. And today is not going to be the title. It's going to be a question. What are you naming it? What are you naming it? Not just that thing that you're, but those things that you keep telling yourself are after you. Okay? I want to remind you today that you cannot tackle a thing. You can overcome a thing. You can't get past the obstacle until you give it a name. So we talked about how many of us, we hear the words of, we got to use Christian with air quotes, because are we showing love? Why? Just because we named it that thing doesn't mean that that's what it is. But if we name it love, it to show the characteristics of what we name it. So what say if it look like a duck, talk like a duck, sound like a duck, it's a duck. What are you naming it? Naming that thing that you said is in your way from you doing your thing. You can't tackle it if you don't name it. Boss, if it's you, listen, many a day I have to call my sister Tilted and say, I am the problem today. I'm the problem. But if I don't name the problem, I cannot overcome the evil that comes in my way. I can't pray about it. I can't put it before the Lord. Sometimes it is me, all of me, because it's me. But if we don't name, it's fear. If we don't name, I can't. If we don't name, I'm a control freak. I don't know how to let you lead me, Lord, or how to let other people come in my life. Lord, what is it, that thing that you want? If it's favor, name it and claim it. We used to say, but we've been haphazard with that thought. And now I want to remind you to redirect you today. Ask you the question, what are you naming it? We hear the scripture where it says, write the vision and make it plain. That means that you got a name. What is the vision? Where are you looking to go? Listen, I done had a whole break and rested. So I'm coming here all the way forward today. What are you naming it? Once you name it, you're able to write, you're able to tackle it. And you know, as always, what I say, I'm here for the celebration. I'm here for the cake. We cannot get to the win if we acting like the things that we tackle are just fairy tales. These are real things that we need to have in our lives, and they're real goals that we want to help you set. And that's why we tried to end this show with some words of encouragement and a reminder. Name it so you could go after it. Don't miss my cake though. That's the most important part. Tilted. Karen want her cake.
Yes. I got some strawberry shortcake downstairs in the pantry. I wish I could just put it on the screen and get you the slice, but I promise you I will enjoy some with you in mind. How about that, sis? Thank you so much for that very, very impactful and thought-provoking word. What are you naming it? And you know what, y'all? I just realized I didn't really get to share my own testimony during testimony time. It's testimony time. So you know I like to swoop it up. I'm going to encourage you to just be. But y'all, can y'all just be happy with me tonight? That after my journey into the Pink Nation, you know, that breast cancer situation I was dealing with, well, I'm happy to share with you all tonight that I sit here absolutely cancer free. To God be the glory. So yeah, just be faithful, y'all. Just be faithful. Brief testimony about that is I walked through that thing with joy. I walked through that thing with joy to the point where nobody knew anything was wrong because my God covered me in a way that only He could. So I'm grateful to be able to share this platform with you all on tonight. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you again to each and every one of you for tuning in. This is Unhinged. We are the tribe. And I guess it's a wrap, y'all. Is that a wrap?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Howdy. Catch y'all next week.